Trust Once Lost, Chapter 42, Familiar Faces. As I sat on the hospital bed, I couldn't help but feel guilty for what had happened. If only I had de-escalated the situation, maybe none of this would have happened. But I was so angry at Spoiled for being a bully, I couldn't control myself. I said things I shouldn't have, and I provoked her into attacking me. But I never meant for her to hurt Diamond Tiara. I was only trying to protect her. When Dayglow came to interview me, I couldn't look her in the eye. I knew that I was partly to blame for what had happened, and I felt like I had let everyone down.
Green, I know that this is difficult for you,
Dayglow said, her voice gentle and kind.
But I need to know the truth. What happened between you and Spoiled?
I looked down at the hospital sheets, feeling a surge of guilt.
I said some mean things to Spoiled, to goad her into hitting me,
I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper.
But I never meant for her to hurt Diamond!
Dayglow looked at me with concern.
Green, you're not to blame for what happened,
she said gently.
Spoiled is the one who hurt you and Diamond Tiara. You are a victim here.
I shook my head, feeling overwhelmed with guilt.
But I wanted her to hit me!
I admitted.
I wanted to get her in trouble. I didn't think she would actually break my leg or hurt Diamond Tiara. Green, it was very brave of you to stand up for your friend,
Dayglow said.
But you don't have to put yourself in danger like this. You need to understand that what Spoiled did was wrong. She shouldn't have hurt you, and she shouldn't have hit Diamond. She's an adult, and she should know better.
I nodded, tears welling up in my eyes.
I know, and I'm sorry,
I said.
But I don't want to be the reason why they're separated. Do you know if she's hit Diamond Tiara before?
I shook my head. I didn't know. How could I know if this was the right decision if I didn't know? Maybe she didn't normally act like this. Would Diamond Tiara actually be better off without a mother? Or did I actually want Diamonds to go back with her potentially abusive mother?
I don't know,
I admitted. Dayglow sighed and gave me a sympathetic look.
Green, I understand how you feel, but we need to make sure that Diamond is safe. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that happens, and I'll make sure that she has the support she needs. You're not responsible for what decisions I make with Spoiled. What you need to focus on is getting better and recovering from your injuries. Can you do that for me? Yeah, I guess.
Princess Twilight was surprised when she heard a knock at the door to her study. She had asked that she and Applejack not be disturbed.
Come in,
she called, wondering who it could be. The young Pegasus messenger wore a crisp professional uniform adorned with the insignia of the hospital where he worked. He had a sleek coat of dark gray fur and a well-groomed black mane. Despite his professional demeanor, there was a hint of nervousness in his eyes, and a sheen of sweat on his brow. He stood at attention before Princess Twilight and Applejack, taking a moment to catch his breath before speaking.
Sorry to interrupt your meeting, Princess Sparkle,
he began, his voice slightly tremulous.
But I need to inform Miss Applejack that her foster daughter has been in an altercation, and now she's in the hospital.
Applejack's blood ran cold.
Oh no,
she whispered.
Is she alright?
The messenger hesitated, his eyes flicking nervously to Princess Twilight before returning to Applejack.
She re-injured her broken leg,
the messenger reported.
I don't know any more than that. She's been admitted to the emergency department. How did this happen?
Applejack demanded.
She was at home! What could have happened to her?
The messenger fidgeted, clearly uncomfortable.
She and Spoiled Rich were having an argument in the town square,
he began, his voice faltering under the intensity of Applejack's gaze.
She what?
Applejack interrupted.
For some reason, Spoiled grabbed Green's leg and twisted it. That's all the details I was told.
The sound of splintering wood could be heard as the arm of a very expensive chair was crushed by Applejack's earth pony grip.
Twilight,
Applejack said.
I need you to come with me, and I need you to promise you won't let me alone with Spoiled, or I may do something I regret.
Twilight nodded in understanding.
I promise.
Twilight said.
I'll teleport us to the hospital. It'll be faster.
As Twilight and Applejack arrived at the hospital, there was a second flash of teleportation, and they were met by a group of Twilight's royal guards. One of them, a tall, muscular stallion with a mustard yellow coat and deep orange mane, stepped forward and bowed. "Princess Twilight, we were worried when we couldn't find you," he said. "As captain of your royal guards, it is my duty to protect you, and I can't do that if I don't know where you are."
I appreciate that, Sunrise.
Twilight said, trying to keep her frustration in check.
But I am capable of taking care of myself. I don't need a group of guards following me everywhere I go. How did you even manage to find us so fast?
When protecting a VIP, it's standard procedure to set up monitoring wards, Sunrise explained. Since you objected to having a tracking spell placed on your person, I had to use the monitor ward to analyze your teleportation spell and determine its vector.
I know how the spell analysis works.
Twilight huffed.
I just don't want to be tracked all the time.
We understand, Princess, said a guard with the standard white coat and blue mane granted by her armor's enchantment. And we try to be as unobtrusive as possible. Twilight sighed, feeling irritated that she needed to have guards at all. When Twilight had declined to choose her own personal guards, Princess Celestia had gifted them to her. She knew that the guards were bound by oath to protect her, but she couldn't help feel like they were more loyal to Celestia than they were to her, and merely paying lip service to her orders.
Fine,
Twilight said.
But please try to stay out of our way.
Of course, Princess, Sunrise said with a bow. We are at your command.
Alright, fine.
Twilight ordered.
Sunrise, you can stay with me. The rest of you will have to wait outside.
Sunrise turned to give orders to the other guards. Twilight nodded and turned to Applejack.
Let's go check on Green,
she said.
I hope she's okay.
The trio entered the hospital.
Oh, Your Highness.
The reception pony asked.
How may I help you? We're here to see Green,
Twilight said politely.
Of course, Your Highness. Right this way.
The reception pony led them through the emergency department to a room near the back.
I have to leave you here, Princess,
the reception pony said.
I have to assist the next patient in the waiting room. Thank you,
Twilight replied. After taking a breath, Applejack opened the door, letting light into the darkened room. She saw Green lying on the bed, and her eyes filled with tears at what she saw.
Green.
Applejack said softly.
Oh, sweet babe. What did she do to you?
Green's leg was propped on a pillow and bent awkwardly. Her eyes were closed, her face a mask of pain. Green had told her that Spoiled was dangerous, but she hadn't taken her seriously. Or, at least, not seriously enough.
Hey.
Green mumbled, barely opening her eyes. Applejack was here now, and I just wanted to be alone. I wanted a rest, but I couldn't tell her that, though. I just had to endure.
I'm here now.
Applejack cooed.
I'm here now, so don't worry.
I wanted to tell her not to worry, but I knew it would be futile.
I'm not worried.
I said.
Well, okay, maybe I am worried, but not about me. What happened?
Applejack asked. How could I explain to her that it was my fault that Spoiled had done this? That I had gotten angry and escalated the situation on purpose? That I had gotten Diamond and myself hurt for no good reason?
I don't know. Spoiled Rich broke your leg.
Applejack said.
Well,
I said.
Yeah. What happened? I got angry at Spoiled.
I said.
And I said some things I really shouldn't have. It's not your fault. It is my fault.
I muttered.
I knew she couldn't control herself. I pushed her into violence so that she would get in trouble, but I only expected a slap. I didn't know she would hurt Diamond or twist my leg. Oh, sweet pea, you're not to blame,
Applejack replied.
Spoiled is responsible for her own actions. I know.
I moaned.
But I didn't have to push her into this. I didn't have to keep going after I knew she couldn't defend herself. What are you talking about?
Applejack questioned.
Spoiled is 5 times your size, verbally.
I interrupted.
She couldn't defend herself verbally. She wasn't smart enough, and I took advantage of her. I don't think it's fair to call it taking advantage.
Applejack argued.
You weren't the one that started it. Well, no.
I agreed.
I wasn't. But I could tell how fragile Spoiled was. I knew what would happen if I pushed her too far. I planned on it.
How did Filthy fuck Spoiled? Anyway, let's get on to our not vulgar donators. Top donators: Jessie Smith, Star 630, BadassWaffle, Only One Thanks to Orion and Caladis. Matchback, JockeTF, Luciisu, Darkside, Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel, Sky Sauce, and Rolan, Sorb, More, Trinomic, Library, Rinside, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Rice, Shadow, Luigi, Chance, Crust, Big Smoke, Bobcat, Murder, Princess, Jet, Little Mighty, Solar Symphony, and many more amazing people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.